Hey guys, we're here at a metro outside of Las Vegas, Nevada, with none other the man who needs no introduction, IFBB Pro, Arnold Classic champion, top 3 Mr. Olympia finalist multiple times, IFBB Pro Dennis Wolf. What's up, brother?
Good. Welcome to my home. I'm MJ Branch. I'm glad having you here, guys. We already killed a great workout. Branch did shoulders, and yeah, MJ just made me wet. You know, we did legs. So, guys, if I look really messed up, that's his fault.
That's good. Yeah, we had a great time.
Thank you for inviting us into your home and let us train at your home gym. So you got a badass gym out there.
Thank you.
And so really good equipment. So got a great pump, had a good workout. And I felt right at home because it's 10 o'clock in the morning and probably almost 100 degrees. So it reminds me of being home. So Dennis, man, I know I've talked to you. I know a little bit about your story, but I don't know how many of our people out there and how many of the fans out there know Dennis Wolf. Everybody knows Dennis Wolf, the world champion bodybuilder. But tell us about it. I know you were born in Russia back in the 70s, and I know you eventually went to Germany. But tell me about your family, how your upbringing, your environment, how that affected you as a man, and how it affected your course becoming a bodybuilder.
For me, I've been telling the story many times, but still, I think the new generation still don't know exactly where I'm from, and if they see me traveling to Russia or speaking Russian language or posting, something with the Russian music, at the background, they start asking questions like, why this dude speaks Russian? So, yeah, I was born in 1978 in Soviet Union. So and I was growing up in the area of Kyrgyzstan, so Kyrgyz Soviet Republic.
Mm-hmm.
So back then in the Soviet Union, there were 15 republics. And then after the Soviet Union kind of start functioning, in 1990. So a lot of, or most of these republics declared independency, like Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan. So, but in 1990, we moved already to Russia. So to my grandma, my mother's side. So just to, so you guys understand, my mom's side is German, and my dad side is Russian. So my dad is Russian, my mom is German, right? So the first thing was only the Germans, like full Germans, like with real German name, real German blood, were allowed to come back. Later on, like 2 years later, they allowed to, all the Germans who were already mixed, like part Russian, part German, like me. My dad was Russian, my mom German. So those families were also allowed to move back to Germany, right? So yeah, that was it. So in 1992, we moved to Russia, and then we moved to Germany, and there was a very difficult time for me because no language, no nothing, and I used to play basketball before and all of that. So there was a stop for me. So there was no, there were opportunities to join any clubs, right, to start training, but with the issue ahead, language, different culture, that was very, very difficult. So after 2 years, I decided to start, joining the clubs, fighting sports, tried a lot. And then, I think 1997, I went to the gym. So I joined the gym, and that was it. So I started liking it. I never felt something like that before, like that pump, coming into the muscle. Mm-hmm. So before that, anything what I did before connecting to the sport, it was just exhausting. I was like, pretty down after that, So there was no good feeling like pump. So so that was basically it. That's how I got into bodybuilding. But prior to that, of course, I've been watching all the Hollywood movies, starting with Arnold, as probably everybody at that time, Sylvester Stallone, and of course Jean-Claude Van Damme. These three were my favorites. Also Dolph Lundgren. I even had a haircut when I was 15 from the Drago.
Oh,
Yeah. So I was basically
Swedish
yes.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, is it true that his name is like not Dolph, is like Johannes or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So there's like translated, right? Dolph
Yeah,
is,
no,
is
his,
not.
he goes by the name Dolph
Yeah,
Lundgren.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like reading his story back then, and so I remember
Yeah.
that.
His-
Yeah. So that was my motivation to start that, and then as I was connected to weightlifting, and I'm kind of feeling the pump. That was it. And basically, a year after I joined the gym, some guys came up to me and was like, "Hey, are you in prep for some show?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" So I had no idea, right? So and
You didn't know what you had.
no. So then one of these guys, Mike Schultz, he came again to me at the same day and said like, "Yeah, look, you have great potential."
Mike
you know,
Schultz
so
was a bodybuilder, right?
Mike Schultz, yeah, he was a
Yeah,
bodybuilder.
yeah, I know,
So he was like, yeah, do you think you can, you want to do that? It's like, can you explain, so what do you mean? So and after that, back then, you had to compete over a gym. The gym must be a member in the federation. So that's how it worked back then in Germany.
Like
So
how it worked in Sweden also.
right. So and then I had to find another gym.
So the gym had to be a member of the federation.
Yes.
You had to train at that gym
Yeah.
to be eligible to compete.
Exactly.
I think it was legacy from Ben Weider and how was trying to make bodybuilding ready for the Olympics and stuff
Yes,
like that.
I guess so. I guess so.
I
So
get the part of the athlete federation in Sweden as an example, and that's how you have to have the team. And
exactly. So you basically start looking for a gym, which one is a member in the federation. So and then you will compete from the gym, like over the gym. But there was like 60 marks, like $30 back then, and they will pay for you, right? So, but if you want to do a membership for yourself, that was impossible, right? So and then Mike Schultz took me to another gym, another city. That's where I met my wife later on, a couple of years later. So and then we got in a discussion with a guy. I said like, okay, we started the prep. Just tell me what you eat, So I'm like, what do you mean? I eat everything, So yeah. So then he explained me, what to eat, how to eat, and what to do, and basically. From that moment on, 2 months later, I was on stage.
So, but you said something when we were training legs earlier that in the beginning you didn't train legs
Right.
because you didn't think about it, or
Yes, exactly. So when I started training in a gym, I just did everything what I liked, right? So chest, back, all that. But legs, like sometimes or like a couple of months, nothing, never touched the weights. And when, I planned to compete, so that was like basically 2 months, 2.5 months, that's when I started training legs. So, and the balance was perfect, right? Of course, I was skinny, but the balance was perfect. A year later, exactly 1 year later, my legs overpowered already the upper body. So the first show was okay. I didn't place well, so I was a novice, did second, and then heavyweight was fourth. And a year later, the same show, I was the overall winner. So that's how big the jump was.
Yeah.
Now,
And
did you have
just
back then? Did you have a guru or a trainer or anything, or you just kind of just did it?
Look, but then
Just when I was coming up, they wrote down on the back of an envelope, "Hey, eat this, 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 and this here,"
yeah, not even that.
and that's what I did. in
Yeah,
one.
exactly. So not even that much. So the guy who helped me would say, "You eat that and that, right?"
was that still Mike Schultz or
No.
was there another
Mike
guy?
Schultz, he told me, "Look, you just have to eat. You have to understand. What is what,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, carbs down,
Yeah,
protein up. No fat."
Yeah.
Right, so that's like if you're still carrying fat, there's no fat, in your meals, right? So until it's gone, then you start doing that. So that's how I started learning that. And the other guy, where I competed over his gym, he just told me what to take. That was it. 2 probably, supplements, right? That's it. So there was, it was on. It was more simple back then than today. Today, if you like, I work with athletes, and sometimes new clients, they send you some stuff, right? So what they've been doing, and you're like, oh shit, man, it's really we did
crazy,
that,
right?
not even that much when we were pros.
Correct.
So yeah,
I know.
so since that, I was thinking until today, the simpler the things are, the better they work. So and it's mostly that way. It's mostly.
I hope y'all heard what he just said. The simpler things are, the better they work. So y'all need to quit overthinking shit so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you won that show?
I won that show. So it was in 2000. And after that, I was like up and down. Met my wife, this and that. Was broke, if you're young, some shit happens to you, or you're not that careful with your life, maybe, with your finances, or if you own some money, then you're not like, okay, I own it, not, I don't own it to my friends or whatever, right? So if you own it to somebody, right? So back in days, I was thinking like that. So okay, they're not catching up to you. So so I'm free until that shit happens. That way where you have to take care of it, So, but I think everyone, when he was young, has to go through that. That makes you stronger. That makes you more, or gives you more responsibility, and you understand life, So, and after that, I competed in 2002 in another federation. Took second. It was in France, and in 2004, I started kind of already taking everything more seriously. Competed again at the qualifier, did the overall, then German nationals, got beaten by a guy who was really, not aesthetic, and that looked like he was shoot up with all that extra stuff, what people assume we all take, right? So I took a second. I was pissed. Wanted to compete in the other federation even, right? So I didn't do that. So in 2005, I won the overall again. Got the qualification for the German nationals. Won the overall, and I thought, finally, my dream come true. I get the pro card. No fucking way. They told me, you have to compete at the World Championship. Excuse me.
Now, was that sometimes could you get a pro card after winning German nationals?
Yes, because before that,
But they would give it to you.
Marcus Rule got one.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Another good guys got the pro card after the German winning the German nationals.
So they singled you out and wouldn't let you have it.
Maybe it was a drive back in 85, 86, 87 to push for the World Championship and do a pro card that way.
Yeah, so they told me I have to make like a top 5, and then we're gonna apply for you, right, for the pro card, because back then the federation has to apply here in the United States for the pro card for their athletes, right? So and they told me top 5 will be enough. But I think, if you're a great athlete, they want to show you around. They want to take you to all international shows. I understand that. It's federation. That's like they're always proud of the athletes, right? But I see it different, right?
Yeah.
So I want to move up. I want to be a pro. That's my goal, and the only goal, right? So and then we're flying in the same year, November, to China, Shanghai, and
What year was that?
That was in 2005. So, and I'm ending up winning the overall and beating all the world championships. Even like 2012, Mr. Olympia, Kamal Agagni, he was there in the overall fight. A lot of good guys. You remember Ali Tabrizi?
Oh yes.
So all of them. So beat them
It
all.
was stacked. It was a good show.
Yeah. So that was insane, and then I start to understand that later on, maybe like a month or two later, that that lineup was crazy. So any one of us could have been overall champion. So at the end, I think that was the right thing to do, winning the overall world championships, because as a German champion, nobody will even know me or notice me, right? So, but the world champion is like going around. So after that, I got the flex cover, bam, 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 bam. So I think that was still right, to wait a little bit, put more money in it and time, and so that's how my pro career started. So in the 2006 Rupa Sopa show in Dallas, that's where
I met you.
I started. So I was like, I told Branch already, we were upstairs waiting for a meeting or something, I don't know. That was like back then, I mean, that took a long time, we were waiting and waiting.
Drag it out.
So, and I was sitting like, and then Branch walks in, and I was like, it's Branch. Then King Kamali walks in, and I was like, look, King Kamali. They all look like, I don't know, man. So back then, that was so exciting, and like to see pros. Look, I mean, I've been to America before, right? But seeing top pros and understand these are my rivals or soon to be rivals.
Because it's the guys that you followed in the magazines and everything, you saw them, and now it's like, now I'm going to be like on stage with them competing.
Yeah, exactly. And then one thing is, hey, you're excited. Another thing, you can believe it, right? So it's a very mixed up feeling. So Texas was great, and that was my year. In 2006, I did 3 shows.
How did the show go?
I placed 7th. I think Tony Freeman won.
Yep. I remember seeing him on stage. We're sitting there with Johnny. I think Johnny was sitting next to me, and I said, "Man, that guy's gonna be good." And Johnny was like, "Yeah," and we were right. So we're good for him, bad for me, but yeah, he turned out to be really good. So,
it was
I called
good
that
time.
one from the beginning. So.
No, it's like even before I turned pro, a lot of photographers after the like small shows, which I won, they will come up to me and say, "Man, I don't understand that shit. Why did they just give it to you, man? Like all the pros in the last 2 years, like except Marcus and Günther, they were like smaller pros, and they're not even look like you, and they're pros. It's like, hey, that's the rules. What can I do? But you could see in the beginning already, like I have a potential, but we've seen so many guys with potential in our life. And they mostly, like most guys with a lot of potential, too much potential, they end up,
don't do nothing.
Nowhere, doing nothing.
It came too easy for him.
So, like my first show, there was a guy. He took the overall. He was like 2 years younger. He was junior. 2 years later, he was doing coke, doing this, doing that. You know what I mean? So, and he disappeared.
I've seen so many guys over the years. You see amateurs and pros. You look at these guys, man, this guy could be something, and they fade out.
Right.
So.
I don't know why, but that's life. It's not always like that direction. That direction can be. You never find it back.
Life can take some unexpected turns.
And I
too many sometimes.
I think also like you, in development, you need those hurdles in order to hone yourself to be better. And those who can push through that, they come back stronger, and they use the setback to overcome and be even better.
So many give up. They just maybe find something better in life or easier. So then they just do something else.
See, I think to be a pro bodybuilder and to be a top pro bodybuilder, you gotta have something wrong with you.
Oh, definitely.
So, I mean, you got something wrong with your brain a little bit to choose this.
That's what I would say too. I mean, how the hell can you be happy about that you're torturing yourself, right? I mean, it's not fun. Like, can you go to someone and say like, let's go train and do legs, right?
For the next 10 years, you're gonna train every day till you almost get sick. Sometimes you will get sick.
You're
gonna be so sore you get out of bed in the morning. And you're gonna eat the same shit, chicken and rice and maybe a little steak and potatoes every day, 6-7 times a day for 10 years. And you're gonna like it. So.
But I think it's out, like, we are not normal, I would say, but we are so strong, like doing all that stuff to our body and changing the body and seeing the change, seeing the development, seeing the progress, all of that, and of course, I mean the struggle. How many just maybe we think the same. So you get up in the morning when we are competing, right? So it's like the beginning of your day, right? So, but at the end of the day, if you're eating your last meal, what are you thinking? Thank God, man. Now I feel free, right? So kind of my job is done for today.
Done for the day.
Right, so then you have
relax for a minute.
Yeah, then you have an hour or two, and then you go to bed, and the day starts again. You know, the new day. But the last meal, you're so freaking happy.
You had that sense of accomplishment.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
You had to get up, you had to do cardio, you had to eat, 6-7 meals a day. You went to the gym, you trained your ass off, and then when you got that last meal in, I was the same way. I was done. I was sitting there like, I'm done.
Yeah, so that's
I
it.
got this one. Today was success. I got it all done.
And the
then-
feeling, right?
yeah.
So it's like, man, like a huge rock is just falling down. Right?
But I like a little bit what this morning when we met outside before we went in and had a workout, and we start talking about your parachute, thing, and how you said that after that, everything else went so much easier. And I think when I hear you talking about that, and then I'm thinking about leg workouts that you did in the past, or whatever, you had a little bit the same mentality that you're not afraid if you're going to die under the leg press, like you just did it.
Absolutely, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's the same. You're pushing yourself every time a little bit further.
Yeah.
It's painful. Like even an hour ago,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I know it hurts. I know the legs won't push it further, so you're still trying it, right? So that set was already like a mess for you, you start feeling dizzy, but you still do the next one,
Yeah.
right? So, and also if you have a great team around you, that's even better. You don't want to look weak,
Yeah.
to show your friend or whatever, you cannot do another 5 reps.
Yeah.
Things like that. So, and after that, I don't know how it works,
Yeah.
but you get
But everything
more
else, everything
focused.
else goes so easier.
It's easier, smoother
Yeah.
the next time,
Yeah.
because you've been through it,
Yeah.
right? So, it's the same in life, right? Like my parachute jump.
Yeah.
Fuck, after that, I'm fearless. So,
Yeah.
let's go and jump again,
Yeah. And you're also referring to other stuff that you were doing that, you do like a surgery or do something that you could be a little bit worried. But after the parachute is like, what the hell? Let's do it.
Exactly. So you probably catch yourself that before that, just an example with my parachute jump. Before that, I was thinking more over the things, like, what can happen, or, oh man, it's a lot, so, like things like that. But after that, so even when we did the training, right? So I was in Russia, we did that, we were invited by the president of the parachute skydiving school and federation over there. In the beginning, I said like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. Then the next morning, we were on the way over there, and I was still okay. So I was not nervous, nothing. I don't know why, but basically you're already like thinking, man, you're gonna jump, right? So we came there, 2 hours training, easy, like all fun. And then he says, so if you jump out of the plane, it's 50-50 that your parachute will be
Spinning.
it will be twisted.
Oh.
So, and I was like, shit. So what I'm gonna do then? He's like, yeah, don't worry, you just turn yourself and then, it's gonna be fine. He's like, hey, it's 50-50. So that make me more problems in my head first.
A lot of problems, yeah.
Right? So he's gonna twist it like
His eyes ain't
50-50.
getting- his eyes ain't getting very
What? So and then he's like, during the training, he said like, okay, that's the easiest thing. So it's gonna be 50-50, it's twisted. But another thing you have to be careful with is if the line is over the parachute. So if that happens, you have to, get rid of the parachute and pull the next one, right? So I was like, shit. So that was already a problem for me in
Then
my
it's
head.
50
Like,
then it's 50-50
how can I
chance.
recognize that? Is it just twisted or it's like, completely, with
So you're by
blindfold?
yourself. When you jump by yourself.
By myself, yes.
fuck.
Yeah. It was 1,200 meters.
So it wasn't
It's,
tandem. It was.
No,
by
it was
yourself.
by myself.
Oh, shit.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. That was
Russia, they're
in
the
Russia,
real deal.
Fuck it.
yeah. Everybody's telling me since then, hey, it's impossible. Basically, you jump in tandem, right?
Yeah.
So another guy is like clicking you in and you jump, right? So, but they told me no, it's.
I was supposed to do it this year in January, and long story, but I was helping a guy in does charity for the military and first responders, and they were going to jump over the pyramids, and he'd been promising to take me parachute jumping, and so anyway, he said, "Hey, got a surprise for you. You go with us, and your first jump's going to be over the pyramids in Egypt, but it's going to be a tandem jump." And I said, well, man, don't I need some training or something? He's, nah, man, it's easy. You just do what we do. I'm like, all right, but Trish was pregnant, and she was due like a few weeks later, so I was like, I better not,
of course.
go overseas. But yeah, I wish I am going to do it. So
Hey, believe me, doing that with 45, I wanted to do that like when I was 20, 25, but with 45, well, probably in the beginning I was thinking, you're too old, man. But then it's like, hey, why not?
why not?
We just live once, so. Yeah, that was after that, really, I landed, so there was like whole team. So the guy, he filmed me like training, going to the plane, sitting on the plane. So they opened the door and I was the first one to jump out. So before that, I was supposed to be the third, right? So, but they gave me that like sport parachute that's a little bit smaller. So they wanted me to fly a little bit longer, so, and do a couple things, right? So
First jump.
sport parachute. So, so as soon as they opened the door, I was like, oh shit. Even on the way up, I was like I was flying somewhere, right? So yeah, not nervous. I opened the door, I was like, oh shit. So, and then I'm standing next to the door and just wanna look outside, and the guy take the hand away because you jump out just holding with the right
problem.
hand. Yeah. So if you do that, so you probably injure yourself. So you're like kicking it back, right? So, and the guy is asking me, "You ready?" I was like, "No." You're insane. Like, how can you be ready for that? It was like shit. And I told myself like, man, what am I doing? So it was like jump. It was like, fuck you. And I jumped out. So the guy will jump right behind me, will film me, and even the guy who was standing, down, he was filming me. So that was like whole production, they sent me the video and all stuff. That was crazy. As soon as I landed, I really asked like, hey, can we do that shit again?
She was
so
fun,
that
huh?
was so good, man, so good. So I think that the next day I will do that, but same day I will jump maybe two more times, and it was so much fun. It's incredible. Yeah, but after that, like everything was so easy for me. Like the same evening, I had a seminar for 4 hours. I was standing 4 hours, so I was energized from that morning. I jumped with a parachute, so crazy. So I couldn't believe it. So and then I couldn't sleep until like I don't know, deep in the night, like 3-4 a.m. So
That's
so
cool.
yeah. And then 3 weeks later, I came to Germany from Russia, and I had an appointment for my surgery. We will drive like 6 hours from my place in Germany, so 6-7 hours. We will arrive like at 6 a.m. over there. Took a nap for an hour, went up, and I did the surgery, right? So I like just filled out all the paperwork because it's my friend. Yeah. So, and the guy like, doing the anesthesia here, like, connecting all this stuff, like, and my surgeon said, hey, it's the shoulder side, so give him something to, relax it and numb it.
Nerve block. I had it.
Yeah.
When I had my shoulder, they shot at my neck too.
Yeah. So it's like, okay. And I was like, fuck. And then, anyways, like I was not thinking too much over it. So like he said, okay, turn your head, lift it a little bit. Oh, you find it? Okay. poof. So I didn't feel anything because I was like, you have to do it anyways. You know, I was like, fuck it. So I just, I heard something like somebody poked me, pook, you know, but no pain or nothing. So I heard that sound. That's it. I was like, oh, okay, I'm in, blah, blah, blah. So, okay, now I'm putting it in. So then you feel like, oh, it's cold, cold, cold. So, yeah, I was not afraid. Since that parachute jump, a lot in my head is different, really. So maybe sometimes you have to do some crazy stuff to maybe wake you up or just understand it's only one life you live.
100%. I think when you do something like that, that's super high adrenaline and it's dangerous. It can change you. I think it'll definitely change you. So make you open your eyes.
100%.
It's a little bit like a near-death experience where you kind of like, where you feel like, you know, you get different perspectives on life and how important it is to live life to the fullest.
Right.
And have no regrets.
My wife did the night before the jump. She's like, send me all your
the
passwords,
paperwork.
all the passwords. Send me all the passwords from the crypto.
The life insurance is good, right?
Everybody's laughing.
Yeah.
No, that was so much fun just doing that. Like I said, like you would say, it's a simple thing, right? But man, if you've done that, you understand how big or how can it change you in positive way. So I didn't change totally. So I'm not like going crazy and doing
But I think-
totally different stuff as before. But you think like your mental sharpness is different. You think different. You're kind of more enjoying things too. You know?
Yeah. But I think like for me it's inspiring to hear you talking about that because I feel like a big part of Gasp and Better Bodies philosophy is to say yes, is to, you know, live life to the fullest and have that attitude of doing things and not be running in small circles.
Yeah.
And just be between, you know, your home, like the work and the gym, and the home again in very small.
Right.
Like this, what you're talking about, is kind of like really, you know, say fuck it to everything and just do it.
Yeah,
And,
you know that's gonna work. You know, so a lot of people are afraid. You know, like oh, something can happen. Yeah, hey, you can go out and
You're gonna run garden to the gym.
exactly. You know, so you like how many young people died in the gym last 2 years just squatting
How
and
many
you know.
people live life but never really live?
yeah, I think that's
most of the people.
yeah, but I
So-
that's the more scary part is actually those who are alive but they're not living. You know.
And you know, there are some people they are not happy, but they do the thing what they do every day, but they're not happy.
And they do nothing to change it.
I cannot live like this.
Nah, me either.
Never. If I feel something is off, something's not working out, I'll rather change my life completely
Yeah.
before I regret it in 10, 20 years. Then like, oh, when it's too late. If you're 60 years, you don't have to do shit anymore, right? So, but still, you can do whatever you want, right? Even with 60. But like I said, it's like, if you want to live your life, you should do that because we are not understand that every day it means less of your time, right? So, but nobody lives like that. The time is running out. Of course, it doesn't mean like you have to do whatever you can just to live. No, but you have to understand that there's sense in it, right? So if you wanna have a good life, enjoy your life, you have to do something for it. But if you can't change anything, of course, then you should rethink everything and try something new. But like I said, I will never do something for a long time which is not working for me or doesn't make me happy. I will rather change my whole life and even go somewhere else, whatever, right? So whatever works for me. But I will never sit in the same place and just complain and do nothing.
So I'm gonna ask you a what-if question. Had you not left Russia and went to Germany, do you think you'd have been Dennis Wolf, the bodybuilder?
That's a good thing to ask because you will never know, right?
Correct.
You will never know. You will never know what if because every decision you make in your life,
is changing your life, right? So, but
Did you have a like when you were growing up in Russia? Did you have a like a goal or like some people when they're kids they want to be an airline pilot or a fireman or something like that or did
yeah, I always wanted to be an NBA player.
okay NBA player
NBA
okay
player. So I was playing basketball when I was a kid,
Yeah.
right? So a couple of years, and right before our first tournament, like competition, we moved to from Kyrgyzstan to Russia. So and then 2 years after that, we moved to Germany. So in Russia, I was living in a village, so there were no sports,
Yeah.
So we will play. I mean, me and my brother, like whatever, ice hockey in winter. It's like two of us, whatever, right? Or some other kids. But yeah, it's sometimes probably every one of us thinks over like, oh, what if I will do that back then, or if I would just start sooner or understand something sooner, or better right in the beginning. So, but how I think about it, you cannot know like
No, you
how
don't
much,
know.
or I mean, it might be I will be probably in sports because I always loved sports, but who knows? Maybe back then, I think in the 90s, there were like two Chechnya campaigns. That was like special operations in Chechnya, like I think middle of the 90s and end of the 90s.
Two wars right
Yeah. So who knows? That will probably draw me into it. Who knows, right? So because my one of my relatives, he was almost close to getting there. So but in the 90s it was very difficult time, and he kind of paid his doctor, so he like put something in it, so he's not. So they cannot use him in the military, So, but they were lucky because his dad was. They're farmers, so there were a lot of food and honey and stuff. So they just give it to the doctor and it was gone. So that were the 90s. So that's why if the Russians talk about difficult times, it's fucking really no joke. The
Bad time.
90s were freaking bad. So that's why so many people in the 90s immigrated to Germany, America, So yeah, now it's you can compare it. You can compare it. It's like Russia today is like everywhere else, right? So, but the media trying to put put it out like or Russia still people like suffering, nothing to eat. Believe me, there's more food you can imagine. I mean, there's like everything and everything is here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like you drive, right? So you get a ticket for speeding. You can pay it right away. So if you pay it right away, 50% off.
discount for paying
Discount.
soon.
Paying right away. Right? So or paying it in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You get 50% discount. Or you're driving and there's like speed limit 50. And if you're driving with navigation, right?
Can you pay in advance?
No,
Get some credit.
maybe. So, and it's telling you, oh, camera is somewhere. So it means if a speed limit is 50, you can drive 70, right? So they give you some
Leeway.
room,
Yeah.
right? So you're
You're good.
yeah. So a lot of things are for people, right? So I mean a lot of help too. So I mean you still get like a lot of things sent out in the mail and stuff, right? In Russia, it's all digital. Almost everything is digital. So yeah, so they're a little bit different in that direction, but in overall, it's the same. It's just the same, So
But this is, I think that's, go to what we talked yesterday evening about, like, everything is way more complex than we often see or
Yes,
hear, and
yeah.
it doesn't really, doesn't matter really what it is, what country it is, or what culture. Like things are, pretty similar like this, and then of course if you go and find, different things that is on the left side or on the right side is like different.
Yeah.
But still, a lot of the stuff is very.
Yes, it's like, in every country there, like, people that live good, some people are poor, right?
Yeah.
So it's normal, it's everywhere, right? So, but nobody's talking about United States, that we have 30 million, what is it, homeless people. Like, how the fuck is it possible, right? So,
Yeah, I don't get that because we used to have no homeless people.
exactly, right? See?
Yeah,
So, look at that fucking comparison, right? So, yeah.
And it takes time also. I mean, I grew up in Sweden, in the 70s, and we got fed with a certain type of propaganda about Russia and China in the 70s and 80s, and those things live with us still.
I know.
Some of it, like the DNA of all that stuff. So it's very hard to change.
That's why
our perception.
like media is so dangerous, because they can put it in your mind and that's it. It's gonna stay there forever. Like, I've been talking to judges back then when I was still competing, and I was in Russia. There was a show, and there were a couple of judges from US, and I was like, man, I can't believe what I see in Russia, because they remember that 80s. Like, here in the schools they will teach the kids, oh, Russians are bad. In Soviet Union, we had like 1 hour a week preparation for atomic war, things like that. So what to do if that happens? Well, the 80s. I mean, there was like a Cold
We
War.
did the same thing here.
You see?
Yeah.
So that was like normal back then, right? So, and then also look at the movies, right? So American movies, look, it's always like in the 80s, always the bad guys, Russians. So then in the 90s, bad guys were Germans. So, so then it's everywhere the same, so yeah, but it's kind of crazy to remember that, what kind of life I lived, moved from into many countries. It's insane. I think I'm ready to write a book.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. Let me ask you this: what's the next chapter in Dennis Wolf's life?
Oh,
Where do you go from here?
oh man. Guys, I can't tell much, but there's some big plans regarding myself, my life. That's gonna end. Not that end. It's gonna change. It's gonna change.
Start a new
life.
chapter.
Yeah.
Close one chapter and start a new one.
Yeah. So I think if I start doing it, or if the time comes, a lot of people will talk about. But like I said, I cannot say much. Well, I'll keep you up to date, guys.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
Look forward to hearing about
Yeah,
it.
we're curious to hear.
Yes, yeah. Me too. It's
And
like I
you
said,
feel-
it's difficult. It's very difficult what I've been planning, but it's doable.
Yeah. If it has something to do with parachute, I'm in.
Okay.
Because I was excited about the story.
I figured here is a place in Vegas on the strip. I think you can do that skydiving in the tube.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the next thing I'm gonna do.
I did that.
Good job.
10:30 in the morning. It's probably 100 degrees outside, which we're used to that shit. So I love this open air heat. You warm up real quick, and it's just you and the weights, baby. Ain't nothing better.
We don't need your sympathy. Let's get done. Something's right. Something's dead. Stay in line. Do not move. Let it think you're kind of willing. We will rise every time. Every day they think.
The last one was nice.
Yeah.
Made it slow.